Welcome back to Rated Radio with your hosts, Rayburn Alexander and Shane Wyndham. Shane, before we move on to our Billboard hit that we covered this week.
Oh, God, what?
I just wanted to say, it's good to see you, man.
Yeah?
Yeah, good to see you.
It's good to see you.
Okay. I love the sincerity.
I'm trying to pick my energy up, so...
It's all right. I tried to get you, I know you can't have caffeine, but I tried to at least trick your body into thinking that it had caffeine this morning. You were against it because poo shit, man.
I'm seeing these artist names, and it's helping. It's getting me there.
All right. Well, before we move on to the two artists that we decided to cover this month, let's talk about this Billboard track. What was it, Shane?
Until I Found You by Steven Sanchez.
And what did you think about it?
Is that right? Sanchez?
Yeah.
Sanchez?
Yeah, Sanchez.
Okay.
I'm not here to correct you. I'm in no position to correct you on the pronunciation of Spanish names.
Begrudgingly, I like this song. It's total 60s crooner imitation, with the echo and reverb turned up to 11, making the words a bit difficult to make out. But it does a good job of feeling like Santo and Jonny collaborated with Ritchie Valens in a gargantuan empty auditorium. So the artist does seem to be lacking a strong sense of his own identity, but I can still let this one play all the way through with ease. 5 stars.
All right, well, this episode is already starting off at a great place. Taking a step back in time with this one, this track is reminiscent of 50s and 60s single male singers of the time. Think Buddy Holly vocals with that Elvis romance, with an added production value of today. This one is just short enough and sweet enough to garner itself a 5 from me.
And I don't think anyone's here to hear us talk about Steven Sanchez, so how about we...
roll that intro.
So we're going to start with Rittz here. I just wanted to point out that neither of these artists were in our jam jar.
No, this is Shane's season.
Not a single person. I could take from the jam jar for this season. I think I did or have in a few places, but neither Rittz nor Yelawolf has been listed in anyone's top 10 artists they've sent us so far while we've been doing the podcast. So if you think that's a shame, let us know your top 10 artists.
So, all right, let's get started with Rittz. Which, can I add, that's an ironic name, correct?
Yeah, it's probably a nickname because he's white. He's a cracker.
Yeah, got it. Okay. I sense the irony. I just wanted to make sure, since you are, out of the two of us, the more proficient in Rittz.
Yeah, I'm over here trying not to be a dick and be like, he totally talks about it in the lyrics that we had to listen to for this episode, Rayburn.
Well, I think we've established that Rayburn doesn't necessarily listen to the lyrics, but moving on. The first album that we covered by Rittz was The Life and Times of Johnny Valiant from 2013. This was my bottom album.
Middle for me.
I gave it 2 5s out of 16 tracks.
11.
All right. My top track was All Around the World.
I'm always torn between For Real and Switch Lanes. Hate to be that guy, but I'm that guy.
My bottom track is My Clothes.
Agreed.
Yeah. Because
of for me... tracks like that, normally they don't bother me. In fact, normally I think they add something of value.
Yeah.
But it's scary to the point you have like domestic violence connotations or something. I couldn't tell what was happening. So maybe I didn't listen to it enough.
Yeah. And for those of you that are caught off guard, you could be substantially triggered by some stuff like that.
And absolutely nothing else like that in everything that we listen to.
No.
I should point out.
No. It seemed very much out of place, and I think that's the reason why it got my bottom. My Interview reminds me of Professional Rapper by Lil Dicky. Don't come for me, but it kind of does.
Okay.
Beats are sometimes too similar in sounding. Rapping style is a lot like Tech 9, which more on that later. Rapping is decent. The man has some speed and creativity in his lyrics, but the lack of creativity in his beats is where he ultimately struggles.
With regard to this album, I said Rittz comes across like one of the most effortlessly talented rappers around. Most hooks are gold, and he's got Tech 9's strange music label delivering a floaty, jazzy, yet viciously heavy instrumental foundation throughout. Much like Eminem, his lyrics tend to be intimately relatable, only falling short when he sounds overly cocky or raps about life as a rapper. Still, a solid spin, better than I remember thinking when it dropped, and I dug it plenty back then.
And there's that Tech Nine reference that I was talking about. Yes, he was signed by Tech Nine's label, but has since created his own label called C&T Records. Not to be confused with CMT. This ain't no country music television.
There's also no bad blood, so we're
No.
clear.
And just before we move on, I'm correct in what I researched in saying that Yelawolf actually discovered him in 2009, correct?
Pretty sure, yeah.
Yeah, so that's kind of cool that we're pitting these two artists against each other. I think you had a plan.
You know who signed Yelawolf?
Tech Nine? No, I do know. I wrote it down. I'm not looking at it at the moment.
A lot of
Eminem
love.
did.
A lot of
There
love
you
at
go.
the table, yeah.
Eminem did. I did know that, and I did not look at it.
Yeah. These are serious rappers who work with other very serious rappers, and it seems like there's a lot of love and respect at the table.
Which there needs to be more of within that community as a whole anyway.
And rightfully so, too, because they're all different. I don't know. It's pretty fantastic.
Let's celebrate our strengths and differences rather than pitting people against each other. Yeah. East Coast, West Coast bullshit. But we're not here to talk about that. Moving on to the next album by Rittz. It's Last Call from 2017. This was my middle album.
This was my top album.
I gave it 2 5s out of 16 tracks.
16.
I swear to God, I need to get a button for that. I'm getting real tired of doing that. My top track was Press Rewind.
Yep. I'm torn between Press Rewind and Down for Mine.
And my bottom track was So Long.
If I had to pick one, it would probably be Dork Rap. I really like the song, don't get me wrong, but probably that's where I would go.
He has grown quite a bit and expanded his sounds for his beats, which I am happy with. He's also added a little bit of a spacey element. That's the only word that I can use to describe that sound. Songs are a bit slower throughout, despite that first song. My only complaint is personally, I have never been a fan of the consistent rap talking style. If it doesn't have a catchy hook or chorus, it can sometimes seem a little too monotonous.
Well, where rap albums are concerned, this is one of my favorites. It's a sweet spot affair. The emotional intelligence of Jelly Roll or Post Malone, the technical speed knot skills of Eminem or Tech Nine, and the southern darkness of Yelawolf. This just ticks a lot of my boxes. It comes across as egotistical at times, but that is seriously my only critique and something you could say about any fucking rapper you wanted to.
Yeah, I'm sure you could find it in any of their discographies. Moving on.
That's not actually fair. There are some rappers out there who push away from the egoisms on purpose. But you're not going to find them in most mainstream discussion.
I was going to say, you probably don't run into them very often. I'm sure they're out there, but it's not something that you come across fairly easy. Moving on to the last album that we covered by Rittz. It was Picture Perfect from 2020. This was my top album.
And this was my bottom album.
Yeah. I gave it 4 5s out of 13 tracks.
9.
All right.
So I still clearly like the album.
Yeah, you like it. You like what he's got. It's not a sexual thing.
Hey,
I swear.
Maybe I like what he's got.
I mean, maybe you do. We never know. My top track was
that's a beautiful ginger man in my opinion.
Dude, if Logan, my brother, if Logan would tease the fuck out of his hair, he's like up there with Rittz category.
Rittz has always reminded me in look of my friend Amanda's brother.
Okay.
So I'm just saying, nobody knows what I'm talking about.
Well, Amanda's brother, if you're listening, hey, look up Rittz, because Shane says you look like him.
He knows Rittz. He's one of the world's biggest Tech Nine fans.
Oh, okay.
So.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
My top track for the Picture Perfect album was Till the End. I want to say one thing. RITTZ.
Nice.
It's been in my head. Like this whole week, it's been RITTZ. And
that's part of a song for those who are confused.
Yes, my top track, Till the End, they mention it. And it's just one of those things that it's like an earworm. It's just infectious.
The title track is my top track.
And my bottom track was Painkillers and Paint Colors. I do want to mention, love the song name. Like, that's creative as fuck.
I love the song.
Okay, well, you like most songs. Sure.
Yeah. Bottom track for me was the intro. Picture This.
So, Picture Perfect was your top and Picture This was your bottom.
That's correct.
All right. Just making sure we're on the same page. The album covers keep getting sillier and sillier, this time in an attempt to tackle his best Bob Ross. I kinda dig it. His rapping style and backing tracks are everything from fun, dark, and soulful. Pretty dirty south for a boy from Pennsylvania. Flow is strong, and I found myself bobbing my head pretty much almost the entire time. So, if I were to add an album by Rittz to my album collection, Picture Perfect would most definitely be it.
I considered buying Last Call just to have it up on the wall when you came today.
Well, you had one up on the wall last time, and I didn't know. We actually covered it in the next episode.
Are you talking in the future?
Yes, in the next episode.
You're a time traveler now?
I am. I'm a time traveler.
Roughly a third of this album feels like a downgrade to me, to one degree or another. The good news? The rest of it is more of the same genius I'm used to Rittz delivering. So expect the majority of this listen to be killer. It doesn't punch as hard emotionally as the other two discs we covered, which is why it hits the bottom in spite of being a totally listenable effort. While it may not be as memorable as those others for me, again, it's still plenty solid.
A couple of other things that I want to mention that I don't need to mention, but...
Pop, by the way. Popish.
Popish.
Popish, more mainstream.
Which totally fits my MO.
Yes.
So, there you go.
He needed the White Girl album. And
he gave me... I rolled up in here with Starbucks today. I'm not going to fight the fact that...
To be fair.
I'm a little stereotypical.
As close as he gets to the stereotypical White Girl album. Because again, I don't want to offend anyone listening because I massively, massively respect this artist.
Massively?
Massively.
All right.
Like what he's working with, I'm sure.
I know. Massive.
A beautiful ginger man, just like that beard.
Mm-hmm. Anybody that can pull up a toboggan like that with shades on and making fun of Bob Ross. Yeah, I'm totally here for it.
If you're new here, by the way, I don't know why I'm going down this line of joking. I'm a hetero male. Not that it matters.
It doesn't matter. It does not matter. Anyway.
It's just interesting that this is the line I've gone with today. I don't know. Go ahead.
Like I said, I don't need to say this. We've already kind of touched on it a little bit. Similar sounding artists, Yelawolf, Twista, Jelly Roll, Tech 9. I wrote all of the same things as you did, but I want to throw you a curveball. That last album, Picture Perfect, young Ludacris, like that. Cadillac grills, Cadillac spit, like all those old Dirty South beats from like Ludacris's first couple albums.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, or like when he was doing like Blueberry Yum Yum and shit. Yeah.
He was clearly having more fun.
Oh, yeah. And I love somebody that can have fun.
Mm-hmm. Which makes me wonder why the hell you're here right now. But
I know that there's like low-key fun under the skin most of the time. It just takes you a little bit more to warm up for the day. You know what I mean?
This is true.
Yeah. Hey, the life of an epileptic, not allowed to have caffeine. It's okay. I'm a little bit more patient with you.
I'm on the up and up.
Tell us what you thought about Rittz.
Well, the music makes me feel like I'm blissfully numb from too much work and play.
Well, there you go. Maybe you've just been playing too hard.
And working too hard.
I know you've been working too hard. You're always working too hard.
So I'm numb from it, but I'm blissful about it. Mm-hmm. Take it you didn't answer that question? No need to.
Answer what question?
You almost always do the how the music makes you feel. Nope,
I didn't do that. I didn't do that this month.
My here, let's try to take my energy up, okay?
Okay. All right. Shake it out.
Yep. I'm hearing the tunes in my head now. It's perking me up.
RITTZ.
Yeah, not necessarily the tunes I'm hearing, but it's not a bad one. Not at all. Recommendation for how Rittz could be most successful in the future. I wrote, keep re-releasing Last Call until people realize it's a masterpiece.
All right.
Nothing?
Nope.
Nothing? Okay.
I don't even need to comment. It's a good album. It's just not my favorite.
And now for the spiel.
Oh, Lord. What?
I always have the notes. I don't know what you call it.
No, you're fine. I love that both of us take the time to want to say something and we both have the exact same reaction in the episode. Oh, God, what?
Yep.
What do you want?
I've mentioned egotism here as a drawback, as though most rap doesn't thrive on that very thing. I should point out that this is an artist who deserves to be cocky. He's not only ridiculously talented, but his work is also measured and full of the unexpected frills of other rappers. Things like pre or post choruses, complex hooks, touching or storied lyrics, and the best that strange music's instrumentals have to offer. And that's massive praise. So if you've no clue who Rittz is, go and fix that shameful fact as soon as we're done here. This dude likes to make music, and it really shows.
All right. Well, now that we've gotten full off Rittz, why don't we take a break?
We can in a second. I just wanted to point out that this dude got 36 fives from me, which just happens to be my favorite number.
Oh, I did not know that.
A Rayburn moment. Let's take a break.
36. Can I ask why 36?
Nope.
What? How are you going to do that? How is there just no particular? You just like the look of it? Just feels right?
Pretty much.
Okay.
It speaks to my low-key OCD. It's an obsession with 3s.
6s. What, were you all about those, is it like prime numbers? Isn't 3 a prime number? Don't quote me. My narcissistic ass's favorite number is my birth year. Wait, my birth number. The day.
92?
No, I was born in 91.
91. Oh, okay.
No, 23. It's the day of my birthday, as you already know. And I have 23 letters in my name. So that number 23 movie starring Jim Carrey kind of fucked with me. Seeing the number 23 everywhere. It's my life.
Yeah. You can do pretty much anything with numbers.
I know.
Anyway, what are we doing here?
Well, we're going to talk about our list that you chose because this is your season. And what was the subject of that top list?
Splendid samples.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm really surprised for someone who asks for clarification on damn near every front that you didn't ask me for anything on this one.
No, I'm
curious to see.
I asked you for clarification on one thing.
Okay.
All right.
Let's see what you did.
All right. So for my pick for my top list this month is Paper Planes by MIA with a sample straight from the Clash's Combat Rock album. I'm sure that Shane will appreciate. It's Straight to Hell.
Straight to Hell.
That's what they're sampling. This song is getting me so in the mood for my 12-year high school reunion at the end of the month. Normally, I wouldn't give a shit about taking that long walk down memory lane, but after losing a classmate that was universally loved, it sparked the idea to not let another year pass without seeing everyone one last time. So this one right here, this one's for Jadon. We love you, bud, and even in death, your infectious spirit is strong enough to bring people together. Thank you for that. My only regret is that it would have happened a lot sooner. Depressing.
Okay. I'm not sure I understood that last line, but we'll go with it. I'm sure.
I didn't get to see him before he passed.
I gotcha. Okay.
I just wish that if we would have had our 10-year high school reunion, thanks a lot, fucking COVID, I would have gotten to see him, and I was actually decently close with him. I'm only remained close with a select number of people from my graduating class. It's not like it was huge, but he was one of them, and I just wish I would have gotten to see him one more time.
Sorry, you did not.
It's okay. You know the feeling better than anybody, losing a classmate or losing somebody that you grew up with. And as much as it hurts and how hard it is, life goes on and you just got to kind of roll with it.
Yeah. Not to pull us away from this fun place.
Bring me up, man. Bring me up.
So we went the same direction. So we're clear. Okay. I thought maybe you would look at Splendid samples and think you were supposed to put the originals, not the sampled version song. Anyway, my pick here for the story thing is Blood on the Leaves by Kanye West.
Oh, Kanye made my list several times. He's good about that sampling, but he does it right. I've always liked the way he takes...
He'll normally take a bunch of samples too and manage to commingle them.
Diamonds with Sierra Leone was almost up there, or... I think All Falls Down samples too. Okay. So that was almost up there for me.
So Blood on the Leaves. This is where I'd normally be telling you about how this song reminds me of someone I recently had a silent falling out with after years of failing friendship, poisoned by emotional and political misunderstandings. But in the spirit of acknowledging that these songs were the result of samples, I'd like to avoid that myopic shit in favor of discussing something far more devastating. And I could think of no place more appropriate than sandwiched between the two white rappers who make up this episode. Ever since I became a parent, I've had an ever more tough time stomaching the thought of something like what happened to Tamir Rice happening to my kids. Enter Nina Simone's song Strange Fruit, originally performed by Billie Holiday. Yes, anyway. Being the Nina fan I am, I decided to look the song up on YouTube one night and found a video that damn near broke my heart in half. I'll add said video to our mentions playlist, but should warn you that it's full of actual black people photographed after they've been hanged or burned to death, sometimes both at the same time. And I'm of the opinion that little has changed in our society, save the method and means of these executions. And it doesn't stop there. We are currently in the midst of an attempted return to peak white privilege, as well as forced heteronormative behaviors. So without going on for the next hour about how sick and sad this world of ours can be, let me simply encourage those of you listening to speak up for your fellow humans the next time you hear or see discrimination rear its disgusting face in front of you. We have to do better than we've historically done to one another if we've any hope of our species surviving much longer in this universe. In a world so full of disturbing anti-beauty, let us keep trying to become something worth looking at, no matter how woke it makes us sound, as though having our eyes opened or being awakened were somehow bad. End rant.
Here. Good job, Shane.
And now that I've put a damper on things as well, how about we go talk about one of my favorite people of all time?
Okay, God. Why was that so breathless?
Hmm?
Why was that so breathless?
I'm excited.
You sounded like a little schoolgirl. One of my favorite people of all time. Anyway, let's go talk about Yelawolf. All right. First album that we covered by Yelawolf was, well, hold on. Let me correct myself, considering that Shane says I like to mispronounce things like Yelawolf
What are
and
you talking about?
Little Wayne. I said Yelawolf instead of Yelawolf.
Oh, you said yellow?
Yeah, I said Yelawolf.
Yeller.
Yeller. The first album that we covered by Yelawolf was Trunk Muzik 0 to 60 from 2010. This was my bottom album.
Middle.
Okay. I gave it 0 5s out of 12 tracks.
12.
Yeah, I already know where this is going to go. Grin and bear it. Strapping in. Here we go.
I'm all right.
Strapping in, strapping on. I gave my top track was Pop the Trunk.
Trunk Muzik.
And my bottom track was I Wish.
Agreed.
All right. Well, we've found a little bit of common ground there.
I still really love that song.
Yes, I know you do. The intros to Get the Fuck Up and Billy sound a lot like Dee Antwoord's Cookie Thumper. Listen to Lil Wolf Cub flex his style. Sounds reminiscent of other artists at the time, mainly garage beats and southern style rapping like early Lil Wayne. There he is. Talented, but lacks polish, as to be expected with an album called Trunk Muzik.
Okay. I'm just going to tell you what I think instead of critiquing what you think.
You go right ahead, bud.
This album instantly solidified Wolf as both a classic and an original in the rap world. In the simplest terms, no one else sounds like this lyrical madman. Imagine tech mixed with mystical, but in a southern deliverance-esque vocal package, and that's just about what this is. Also, the somewhat sparse yet jazz and industrial rock-inspired instrumental foundation here remains unmistakable.
I will preface, I do like Yelawolf. I just was not a fan of the Trunk Muzik album. Sorry, Valiant.
Trunk Muzik, the song, reminds me of your brother. I think I've talked about this before.
You talked about that on his episode when he was on, because you put together a playlist, and I don't think Logan even knows who Yelawolf is. If he does, he definitely doesn't listen to Yelawolf.
This is one of my favorite artists to listen to while driving.
Well, that makes me a little worried sometimes, but I digress. Moving on to the next album. It's Love Story from 2015. This was my middle album.
Bottom.
I gave it 3 5s out of 18 tracks.
15.
My top track was Devil in My Veins.
It's good.
Mm-hmm.
It's really good.
Mm-hmm.
Tennessee Love, which, if you didn't know, did not appear on this album originally.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of the only instances I can think of where an artist re-released a song on a different album. But it does happen, and it happened here for whatever reason. I'm not mad about it. It fits.
Yeah. I mean, I would hope you wouldn't be mad about it. It was your top fucking track for the album, right?
Right.
All right. Just making sure. And my bottom track was actually the title track, Love Story.
Agreed. But I really want to love that song. It just does some strange things.
Yeah. This is a more poppy contribution than the last album that we covered. More refined sound, but it still has the same strong flow throughout. Yelawolf definitely is talented. I don't want to take that away from him. I think the thing for me is when in regards to like the vocal stylings, I think I lean more towards Ritz's vocal stylings than Yelawolf. But this dude does not fuck around. He's super good. This album is closer to, what is it? Like, I wrote it down weird.
I don't know. What is it like?
This album is more relevant to the sounds of today And it kind of leans a little bit into Chris Isaak territory. I know I've said that before, but it's slower. It's got darker songs. Like Shane was talking about, he does like to do that darker stuff. And can I just say, this is not the only one that I love by him, but I love this album cover. I just want to have it in my house.
You want to put a wolf on the
wall? I want to put a wolf on the wall, but I want that wolf with the white background.
I understand. In spite of its schizophrenic frills, the musical through line of this wild-ass album is acoustic country, and it speaks volumes about an artist's appeal that I'd give such high marks to a disc with so many small misses. Skits before songs, odd structures, religiosity, downer emo moments, etc. But the heart, the singing additions, and the mega strength to some of these fives leave me loving Love Story despite its off moments. I'm surprised, by the way, because I was under the impression that you loved this album. Apparently you just loved this album cover.
No. I mean, I love this album cover, but it's not my bottom album.
Okay.
I like some things here. I'm going to give him his credit. Moving on to the next album that we covered by Yelawolf. It was Mudmouth from 2021. This was my top album.
I agree. We agree on something.
I gave it 5 5s out of 14 tracks.
13.
Oh, goddamn. So close. My top track was Rocks at Your Window.
Hillbilly Einstein, though Rocks at Your Window still cracks me open inside. Mm-hmm. I did not say that because you said that was your top track. I actually have it written down here.
Aww.
Rocks at Your Window still cracks me open inside.
Well, I think we've established that you and I both are kind of hopeless, romantic-y, emotional.
Yeah, it's a song about one of his best friends dying, but it does
relevant.
Totally make me think of a romantic situation, if you will.
Can I just say, I was listening, my sister came to stay the night, and I was listening to this album and others, and she said, "Did Shane pick this?" And I said, "Yes." And she goes, "He always be listening to some sad, depressing shit." And I was like, yep, she hit the nail on the head with that one.
Which if I confused anyone when talking about Love Story, and I said something like downer emo moments, like it's real down. Mm-hmm. Like it's almost jelly roll down. Like it's down.
Yeah.
Mudmouth, mostly a completely different story.
Yeah. My bottom track on Mudmouth is Light as a Feather.
Losers win again.
This leans more into the sing-songy nature, but still adds a bit of that Bama rap while flexing his vocals. For those of you that don't know, he was born in Alabama, moved about, went to Tennessee, fell in love, apparently. I don't know. Yeah. It can be a bit repetitive, but I don't mind it too much. I could for sure purchase this one. Overall satisfactory in my opinion. And again, I love the album, but this time I want it on a t-shirt. So that melting skull.
I gotcha.
Yeah, that's the third one.
This is the album cover that caught me. Like it's the one that speaks to me most, I think. But I didn't know. Like this is my first time hearing most of this funky, unpredictable disc. And I have to say, it's another feather in that cap bringing this dude ever closer to being my favorite rapper. As someone who's always held out hope for an Eminem and ICP collaboration album, this feels as close as I'll ever get to having that. It's Eminem's skill atop ICP's volatile capriciousness, only it gets better since the instrumentals feel like 3 6 Mafia producing a Whiskey Myers LP. Aside from the shorter, skit-like tracks, this is perfect and unlike anything else. I've been jamming out to the majority of it, right?
Yeah.
But I keep coming... I knew Rocks at Your Window before starting this. Like, I've been in love with that song.
I think you actually showed me that song, so when I turned it on, I was like, I know this. This is good.
Hillbilly Einstein has just been making me feel better about life all week.
That's you in a nutshell.
Yeah, well, I mean, I've gotten to the point in life where I've thrown so many things against the wall trying to, make it on my own and not have to work for other people and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And you start to think, maybe people were right where I came from. Maybe they were right to not hope. Maybe they, maybe they have the right idea. Just don't even fucking try. Just go to work, come home and enjoy the time that you have, But like he says here, I came from a place where people didn't believe that anything was possible, but you can have it all.
Well, I will say, and not to go down a rabbit hole too much, but I'm hoping that this will come off as like a compliment. I know I don't give very many to you, but I've learned from you specifically that it's okay to do the things that you have to do in life that you don't really want to do, because growing up you're like, I want to have the fun job. I want to do all these things. I want to blah, blah, blah. But it takes the real grinders and the real dreamers that do that shit that they hate to do that doesn't make them happy, and then refuse to give up the dream and throw that on top of it on the side. You have to work double as fucking hard. You have to keep trying, and the just going through the rejection and the tweaking and just reevaluating yourself and your process on top of doing the regular boring bullshit 9 to 5. I just want to say it's one of the best things that you've taught me, to not give up the dream, but also know that you have a job to do. And it might not be that fun, but don't ever give up the dream that you try so hard to fight for every day.
Trying.
I know.
We'll see how things go.
I know.
That's what
I know.
I keep coming across music like this that, picks you up and dusts you off and back at it. Anyway, music video, right?
Yeah, music video.
Way Out reminds me of Corey and I back in the day. It's a must-see if you ever used to get high at night in the sticks. And I would also recommend video-wise the Mountain Dew Mouth Freestyle. Holy shit.
You put it on the mentions playlist?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Music makes me feel like I'm back to partying in the trailer park.
Hillbilly Einstein over here.
To be clear, I'm not mad at the trailer park.
No.
Right? No,
I think you have so many fond memories there.
Yeah.
I don't think you would trade the good for the bad, or I don't think you would give up anything about growing up in that environment.
No, I still kind of wish that's where I was, to a degree. Mm-hmm. I want to be successful, but I enjoyed being there.
Yeah.
Plus, I think if you owned land and owned the trailer, and shit would be so much simpler in life.
Just wait, we're going to build a compound. You'll get your own little mini trailer park full of Wyndhams and Sprayberries, and maybe we can get the Yahoos from Idaho back down here.
No, I think I'm going to have to go to them.
I think you are too.
From the moment I first heard Yella's verse in Tech Nine's Worldwide Choppers, I've been obsessed. And he's one of those artists producing more than solid lyrics. He's got relatable, enjoyable music to boot, and way more of it than we covered here today. If you hate Southern influence in your rap, this ain't for you. But I wholeheartedly believe anyone else on the planet will love what Yelawolf brings to the table.
All right. So, as we already know, he's from Alabama. He signed with Eminem's label, Shady Records. His real name actually is Michael Wayne Atha, and Yelawolf was actually a name that was inspired by his father and just sort of stuck after that. Some similar sounding artists to me: early Outkast, Lil Wayne, D'Antwoord, and of course, Eminem himself. So I don't need to ask you who won for you, but as a formality, I'm going to go ahead and ask you, who won for you, Shane?
I mean, you do need to ask. I mean, some people aren't good at math or haven't been doing the math.
Okay.
To be fair with what you just did, Ritz's real name is Jonathan Matthew McCullum. Yelawolf won for me by 4 or 5s. It was pretty close, and I'm happy about that because I really love both of these artists.
You want to guess who won for me?
Rittz?
Rittz. Yeah. Rittz won for me. But it wasn't a landslide victory. I will say that.
Okay.
So I would definitely categorize these two artists in the same genre. But like I said before, I think I just lean more into Ritz's style of rapping, or that goofier, fun sort of shit.
Right.
But I totally get the Yelawolf appeal. He's got that dark sort of inspiration. It's just about what I feel when I wake up. And apparently on the days that I covered these two artists, Rittz was doing it for me. So.
Okay. That's some very hot takes in this episode, I feel, from you. But it is what it is. So join us in a month for the next episode. Just know that we are going to have a free bonus thing coming.
For free?
Yeah. In the next few weeks. Highly recommend checking that out.
Can we give the hint that it's never been done before?
It's never been done before. We've never done this on the show
before. It's very exciting.
It's unique, and we are going to try this routinely, I think. At least once a season is my hope. Anyway, next episode is going to be Thrice versus Thursday. The Thrice albums we'll be covering are The Artist in the Ambulance from 2003, Major Minor from 2011, and Palms from 2018. Thursday, I went with Full Collapse from 2001, War All the Time from 2003, and A City by the Light Divided from 2006. As always, please don't come for me with regard to the album picks. Sometimes it's a complicated mess.
Come from. In the comments, everywhere.
I thought that was one word, like you were seizing over there something.
Come for him.
Come from.
Come from.
Come
Come
from.
from. Come for him. Hey, we need the engagement on social media, man. All press is good press, negative or positive, right?
You tell me, social media expert.
Yes. I'm going to go with the definitive answer, yes. Alrighty, Daddy.
Please stop calling me Daddy.
Oh my God, I fucking hate you. Daddy, alrighty, Daddy. My grandmother used to say that. Now I can never say it.
It's not what it sounded like.
Yeah, I'm sure. Sorry.
Yeah.
Calling somebody else that's not my father, Daddy.
Some advice to all you kids out there. Don't adopt your grandparents' sayings, because it's bound to smack you in the face.
You know what? Life's a bitch and then you die, Shane.
Yeah, it's all going tits up.
She told me that too. Anyway, enough about our grandmothers. That's going to do it for this one. Hit up our Spotify playlists, visit our merch shop, share our show with your friends if you have any. Come find us on social media and let us know what you think. Subscribe for bonus content and be on the lookout for that extra special bonus episode in the future. And until next time, fill your world with music.
And don't forget to go listen to
RITTZ.